Greetings, my beautiful sports to the bone people. Back at it again with another video. Thank you all for checking this one out. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday. We're going to be talking West Indies versus Bangladesh T20 series. The first of 3 games gets underway tomorrow. I just want to share my playing 11 and batting order. Comment section will be open. You can also share your playing 11. Before we go down into that, I just want to say a big shout out to my Caribbean people, especially down there in Jamaica. Based on how Melissa is traveling right now, Jamaicans are bracing for what could be a very devastating hit. You know, based on what we're seeing on the media, it could be as bad as Hurricane Gilbert. You know, those who were around would have witnessed that. I was around to witness Hurricane Ivan in 2004. And, you know, it is said that it might be worse than those two. So, you know, I'm hoping that people will try to be as safe as possible, you know, and just remain indoors. So, wishing everyone, you know, safety as this hurricane makes its way closer to the island. All right, let's talk West Indies versus Bangladesh. So tomorrow morning, I think around about 8, West Indies and Bangladesh will take to the field for the first of 3 T20 games. And I have my playing 11 and batting order here. Now, let me give you my disclaimer as per usual. This is just me being a regular fan, a normal fan, or if you can call me an armchair expert. Just looking at the squad and saying this is how I would put it together. This is not me predicting what Sammy will do. This is not me telling them what to do, because obviously I don't have that weight or connection or anything. So this is just me being a regular fan, putting mine out there. And if your favorite player is not in my playing 11, easiest way to fix it, just go in the comment section and give your playing 11. I will take a look, and based on the setup of your team, who to tell, I might even reshuffle my playing 11, all right? So just to remind you of the squad. In the squad, we have Shea Hope, right? Alec Arthanes, Akeem Ogis, Raston Chase, Jason Hola, Akil Hussein, Amir Jangu. We also have Kyrie Pierre, Brandon King. We have Goody Kishmoti, Rahman Powell, Sheffield Rutherford, Jaden Seals, Romario Shepherd, and Raymond Simmons. So those are the players in the squad. Now, just to remind you, our last 2 T20 series, we lost, right? We played Pakistan in August. You know, 3-match series. We lost that 2-1. Right, the first game, Pakistan won the first game on the 31st of July. They won that by 14 runs. The second game, we won by 2 wickets. And the third and final game, Pakistan won by 13 runs. Then we had a series against Nepal, right? Quite a few of our senior players were rested. Some were unavailable. And we lost that series 2-1 also. That was right before the Bangladesh tour. Right, the first game, Nepal, they won that by 19 runs. They won the second game by 90 runs. The third and final game, you know, we won by 10 wickets. We saw Akeem Ogis and I think it was Amir Jangu that opened and got us across the line quite comfortably in that game. Now, going into tomorrow's game, my viewers and subscribers, I am looking to change things up a bit, right? You know, I was looking at the squad and I'm thinking to myself, how can I get this going? I'm thinking I need to reward Django. You probably don't see him as a T20 player, but I'm thinking I want to reward him with a game in this first one. Obviously, the first team players were out when he was asked to open in that Nepal series. You know, did pretty well, especially in the final game. So, you know, I think I want to work with him, you know, get some amount of stability at the top. Once again, we don't know how long he's going to bat. We don't know if it's going to work, but I'm thinking that. Brandon King, he had a poor ODI series. You know, he's usually better in T20s. You know, I was tempted to open with Django and Alec Arthanes, and you know, Alec would help us with the bowling also, because you know, we see how good he was in the ODI series. But the fact that Brandon King is our main T20 opener, I think I'll start the series with him. So we'll go King and Django. Captain Shea Hope will bat at number 3. And number 4, Rutherford 2. He hasn't really fired, you know, but I'm thinking I'll start this T20 series here with him. Ravman Powell has done some work for us recently. He will come in. We're looking to use the spinners, because you know we are probably going to need the spinners. So we have Raston Chase, we have Jason Holder, Romari Shepherd, Akil Hussein, Moti, and Seals. So those are the players that I am looking to go with. You know, we're going to need Shepherd and probably Holder to do some work in the death overs or in the power play, right? Hussein usually bowls a good bit in the power play, so we'll see how that will work. But that is basically how I'm looking at it, my people. You know, it's probably not the best playing 11 that I have gone with, but I'm thinking King, Django, Hope, Rutherford, Powell, Chase. Between Holder and Shepherd, we could probably go with Arthanes. You know, he obviously would probably bat a little higher, but we could leave out one of those seam bowling all round and bring him in, so he would help with the batting. And just in case you want to give him an over or 2, especially when the field is spread. You know, he doesn't usually bowl in T20s like that. You know, he did well for us in the ODIs. So based on the surface, we might want to do that. So, you know, I am going with at least one out and out quick. People might say, why not drop Seals and play him and play the 2 all-rounders? You know, I probably would leave Holder or Shepherd, you know, and I am still going with Seals. I am going with one out and out quick. You never know what when you might need a little pace. So I'm thinking to leave out one of those seam bowling all-rounder and bring in Alec Arthanes. He would definitely help with the batting, so that would make the batting a little bit longer, and he would help with the bowling, right? That would give us the 2 left arm spinners, you know, Moti and Hussein, and Chase is also there. Chase hasn't done a lot for us with the bat, but we know he's going to give us some economical overs, so he probably gets in there as a result of that. Moti hasn't had a very good few games for us, but you know, I am still backing him to do some work for us. Kyrie Pierre might feel a little bit you know, undone there to be left out. The good thing is that I am not the one picking the actual team, so he might get in, right? So that is basically how I'm looking to do it, my viewers and subscribers. King, Django, Hope, Rutherford, Powell, Chase, Holder, Shepherd, Hussein, Moti, Seals. As I was saying, I might bring in Alec for one of the seam bowling all-rounder, or depending on how I'm feeling prior to the game, I might even suggest that they drop King and bring in Alec to open. And you know, because King definitely hasn't done much work for us recently. You know, he wasn't I don't think we had him against Pakistan because of injury, if my memory serves me right, and then he didn't play against Nepal. So, you know, probably want to see what he has to offer in this series. But very tricky playing 11 here to select, my people. I was listening to Sammy yesterday, and he was saying that based on his knowledge, this pitch that we're going to be playing on is probably the best pitch in Bangladesh, you know, so it might be a little bit better for batting. So who to tell, you might see the likes of Akeem Ogis getting in. He didn't make my team. We also didn't have Raymond Simmons in and Kyrie Pierre. Those guys might fall in. So just send out your playing 11s, my people, so I can take a look and see how far we are from each other in terms of what we would go with. Big up.